Those were the days. Reflecting on the old AlphaTrainer website evokes a profound sense of both nostalgia and appreciation. While the AlphaTrainer program itself is no longer an active product or website, its legacy endures through a dedicated effort of its team. Despite its pivotal role in flight dynamics, even I may have been guilty of glossing over the concept of boundary layer error in my videos. Reflecting on the lessons learned from years of experience and the extensive material shared through the AlphaTrainer website, it is evident that boundary layer dynamics plays a crucial role in understanding lift, stall behavior, and overall aircraft performance. Before diving into the complexities of flight, we must first grasp the concept of lift in a fluid. Our air qualifies as a fluid because it flows, unlike some other gases. Observe how NASA employs particle tracers to visualize flow, similar to what occurs in a wind tunnel. At its core, generating lift involves our speeding airplane interacting with our air molecules. These interactions cause the airflow to turn, driven by the design of the wing. As we slow down the tracer movement, notice how the tracers ascend up and over the leading edge of the wing. This lengthening of these tracers likely represents the acceleration because the ascending tracers increase distance without overall airflow change, indicating that the turning of the airflow accelerates the air molecules. Tom Benson at NASA Glenn. The lift on the body is simple. It's a reaction of the solid body to the turning of a moving fluid. The turning implies acceleration, change in vector velocity, of the fluid. So the force must be applied to the fluid, Newton's first law. In response, a force is applied to the body by the fluid, Newton's third law, and that force is resolved into a force in the direction of the initial fluid motion, drag, and a force perpendicular to the fluid motion, lift. A change in velocity in one direction can cause a change in velocity in a perpendicular direction in a fluid. Pilots need to grasp that lift isn't solely a product of the wing's shape and angle. It's also a function of the boundary layer's behavior. The turning of the air molecules, crucial to generating lift, now develops primarily over this layer rather than directly on the wing surface. This shift in focus reveals new complexity in how lift is sustained. But this ever-changing sticky layer of air isn't static. It can transition from smooth, laminar flow to chaotic, turbulent flow. It will actually lift up, but the lifting process still stays the same. Then suddenly, it will lift off the wing. Boundary layer separation is the sole reason a wing drops dramatically. So now we need to know the vital importance of boundary layer. How do you reattach it back on the wing? What warnings do you have that boundary layer is about to separate? And what are several things that aeronautical engineers do to keep boundary layer on the wing? All these points come down to mostly one thing, and that's called angle of attack. Angle of attack is the angle between the wing's chord line and the oncoming airflow. It is the primary factor influencing boundary layer behavior. When angle of attack increases beyond a critical point, separation of the boundary layer occurs, which is commonly called wing stall or just stall. Stall warning devices are required on all airplanes. Manufacturers mostly rely on angle of attack to signal approaching stall with a warning tone. I personally would recommend two different tones. One warning tone to signal approaching stall and a secondary tone to signal boundary layer separation. Accident analysis reveals that undertrained pilots often panic during stall situations, instinctively pulling back on the yoke due to the nose-down attitude. A secondary warning tone could act as an intuitive reminder to push forward instead. Upon hearing either of these tones, a pilot's immediate response should be to push forward on the yoke until you are light in the seatbelt. This reduces the angle of attack, promoting boundary layer reattachment. This pushing forward on the yoke until you are light in the seatbelt is critical regardless of the aircraft's current attitude. Reattaching the boundary layer restores lift and aerodynamic control. After reattachment, pilots need to follow the airplane's stall recovery procedures. With my 50 years and 18,000 hours of experience, I can confidently say that understanding these aerodynamic principles has not only enriched my flying journey, but also underscores the freedom and joy that comes with mastering the skies. Thank you for watching, and may your aviation endeavors be as rewarding as my own. Please visit our YouTube channel for more videos at AlphaTrainer 3D.